Welcome to Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissi, the podcast that's like having a personal business coach in your pocket, giving you bite-sized tips and small mindset shifts every week. I'm your host, Chrissi. I'm a network marketer turned productivity and mindset coach who grew her businesses while holding down a successful career in aviation. I'm on a mission to help you fit your business into everyday life. I believe you are capable of achieving success no matter how chaotic your life is. Consider me your no-nonsense guide to getting it all done. Join me here on the podcast each week where we'll chat everything from systems to help you fit your business into real life, to business and marketing tips, plus time management hacks, mindset shifts that can help you find the courage to take the next step in your business, and real life stories to inspire and empower you to go after your goals. Let's go, CEO. We have work to do. Grab your favorite cup of coffee or wine, no judgment, and let's get ready to ditch those inner mean girl thoughts ringing in the back of your head so you can embrace your inner badass and go do the dang thing. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I'm so excited for today's topic. I feel like I was so kind of behind the scenes, head down for a while I was working on this project, and now that it's out in the world, I just want to tell absolutely everyone about it. And this is something that's been a game changer for my social media strategy, how I approach my social media, how I'm being strategic, and I think it's going to change the way that I run my business from here on out. And if you guessed from the show title, this is all about the Instagram Permagrid and this little experiment that I'm running for the next 90 days. So let's talk about it. What is an Instagram Permagrid? What is it? I had never heard of it until about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it is kind of a new thing that I've seen popping up. I don't know that I want to call it like a trend, but it is definitely something that is new and exciting and visually appealing. And it is basically turning your Instagram feed into a miniature website, into a mini website. And instead of posting static posts every day or however many times a week that you normally post, you actually post 12 to 18 static posts and leave them forever. Yeah, you archive all of your old posts. Or some people, and I don't know that I love this, but they will actually do like their permagrid, like their 18 posts, and then they'll do like 6 buffer posts. So it's basically like 2 blocks of buffer posts, so like a blank post, and then keep all their old content below that. I don't know that I love that, but if like you're like, I don't want to delete all my old stuff, but I want to try it out, that is an option too. And then once the permagrid is up, it is kind of the website that tells people all of the things that they need to know about you. So you have your about you, who you serve, what your offers are, how they can find you, how they can work with you. And when you put it together with ManyChat to have like those auto robot replies, it makes it so if someone lands on your page and they don't know who you are, they can quickly learn who you are, who you serve, download your freebies, learn more information about your courses, and it's super fast and super efficient. Instead of them having to kind of sort through all of your content and see what you're about, or the resistance of clicking a link to go to your website. Like anytime that there's any sort of resistance, it's hard to get someone to go outside of the app, those sorts of things, or watch your highlights. They land on your page and it is one page for them to look at, which is so amazing. And you might be thinking, okay, well, so I post that, but what happens when I post something new? So you don't post any more static posts to your grid. Like that is it. You post those 12 to 18 static posts and you leave it forever. You can still post reels though, so don't fret. Because someone's like, wait, how do people find you then? You still post reels. You just don't share them to your feed. So when you go to post a reel, there's a toggle, and it's one of the first ones, and you toggle it on and off. And so you toggle it off. So you no longer share your reel to your feed, and so the grid stays perfect. But then, like, how are people going to find you? So on the permagrid, you say like, hey, come check out the fun over on Reels. Go to the Reels tab. And there's actually a tab underneath your highlight bubbles. So it's like grid, Reels, if you have a like subscribe, I don't know what that's called, like a subscription, like people pay to see your member only content, that's there. And then anything that someone's tagged you in previously, those are all tabs right underneath the highlight bubbles. So this might sound a little intense. You're like, wait, you don't post anything else? Like, no, you post to Reels to get new people, new eyes on your content, and then you post to stories to nurture your current people. And in my opinion, this is really strategic. So let's break it down. I'm going to share kind of my personal experience with it, um, my personal experience implementing it, which took me quite a bit of time, and why I really like it and why I was drawn to it. So I do want to give, before we dive into all of this, I want to give a huge giant disclaimer here. This was not my idea. I am not the founder of this. This is not my original brain power that put this together. This is something that I saw someone else do. And then I started doing some digging, and there's actually lots of people doing it. There are done for you services where it's like Permagrid in a day, and you give them all your information and your brand colors, and they go and they make the grid for you. So, I'm not claiming that this was my original idea. It was just something I saw, I liked, and I ran with. I don't even remember who I originally saw it from. But once I started digging, I'm like, I love this and I have a vision for this. I'm running with it. So it's a true testament to just doing the dang thing. So when I saw it, I knew I had to do it because there's a couple of very distinct reasons. The first and probably the biggest one was I have so many different offers. You can get a freebie from me. You can attend my community call. You can listen to my podcast. You can take an instant access course. You can book a one-on-one call with me. You can book a free one, or I have these paid coaching offers, or I have the new business roadmap that has a community. Like, I had so many different things going on that it was really hard for me to post about all of those distinct things. So by the time I scheduled everything out, I was only posting each one of my offers about 1 to 2 times a month. Yeah, that's not really enough to convert someone. A typical follower needs to see the same offer 5 to 7 times before they're going to purchase it. So I needed 5 months before you were going to download one of my freebies. That was not working for getting people through my customer journey. So, that was a big part of it, of like, people don't know how to work with me, and so they're not booking my services. And another reason, and this was kind of a big one, and you're gonna be surprised, especially if you've been here for a while, you know that I am the queen of batching, but I was spending entirely too much time creating static posts. It would take me 4 or more hours a month to put together my static posts, and they would get very little traction. And now this is saying a lot because I am the queen of batching. Like, I teach other people how to batch. I'm a huge fan of batching. I still use it over on Facebook. I use it to batch my reels. I batch my podcast episodes. Like, I love batching, and I think it's such an amazing time management hack. But I was spending so much time batching my Instagram posts for them to get like 2 views. It felt like not really 2 views. It might get like 100-ish views and like 2 likes. It just wasn't working. And what would happen would be I would spend so much time trying to create the static post that spoke to my ideal person and nurtured my audience and did these amazing things. And I spent 80% of my time working on these static posts, and I left over what the time left over, that extra 20%, 80% on static posts, 20% on reels. Because I had spent all my time trying to make my static posts work. And when I looked at the data, it did not lie. In April, when I batched my content, I batched my reels, I batched my static posts, 80% of my time was on static posts, 20% was on reels. I reached 12,400 accounts with my reels, 98% of which were not following me. And I reached 279 people from static posts. Let me repeat those numbers because it's worth repeating. I reached 279 people with static posts, and I reached 12,400 people with reels. Basically, I was spending 80% of my time on static posts, 20% on reels, and 99% of my results were coming from reels. So, what would happen if I focused 80% of my time on reels and 20% on something else, like conversations with people or hanging out in my stories, finding new connections? It just made so much more sense. So let me tell you a couple of things that I really love about the Permagrid and what you might love as well, and like the benefits that you might see. One, it's going to save you so much time. I now have more time to be more intentional about reels, and I might not spend, the 4 hours I was spending on static posts. I might only spend two of that on reels, but that's still 50% more time than I was spending before. So I'm going to spend my time being more intentional about reels. I'm going to really pay attention to that as a very important top of funnel activity. So if you think of like how you get a new customer, it starts with they have to find you. They have to somehow enter the top of your funnel. And the only way that they're going to find you is by you being social on social media and posting new content that they're going to actually find. People were not finding my static posts. My reels are my best top of funnel activity. This podcast is a really good top of funnel activity. So my plan right now is to post 2 reels a day. One is going to be for reach and one is going to be for education. So when I attract my ideal person, like I'm relatable or I'm funny or whatever, and I will get them to actually follow me. So they're going to see the reel, they're going to like it, they're going to click on my profile, it's going to take them to my reels tab. Then they're going to start binging some of my reels content. They're going to be like, oh, she's funny, but she also has really good business tips. I'm going to follow her. So they're going to follow me and then they're going to click over to my grid and they're going to see the Permagrid. And then they're immediately going to know who I am, who I serve, and how they can work with me on any budget for free, for $100 an hour, for $1,000 for my signature course. They're going to know exactly who I am, what I do, and how I can help them. And if they're not my ideal person, if they're not a business owner looking for a business coach, they're going to be like, oh, she's not for me. And they're not going to follow me. How great is that? Like, I'm going to end up with people that actually want my help. Another thing that this forced me to do was, so I had to get, I got a lot more strategic with my reels. I also got more strategic with my stories because I'm like, okay, I'm not nurturing my audience with grid posts anymore, with static posts, with the captions that go there. So how can I nurture them in a different way? And the answer was with my stories. And I have never, ever had a story strategy. Like I was like, I'm just going to share what I share. Whatever happens for the day is what I'm going to share. No, I have a tried and true story strategy now. Because I'm like, I don't have the space to mess around. I can't diddle around with this. Like stories is how I convert people now. Reels is how I attract them. Stories is how they move through my funnel. And they get to know me. They get to know what I have to offer. And they make a purchase. And what this is also going to do, so the time that it's freed up is going to free me up to be social on social media. I'm not heads down creating every single day in Canva. I'm out there, I'm interacting, I'm being social, and conversations are where the sales are made. I have only had the Permagrid up the day that I'm recording this for a couple of days. And I've already noticed that I'm having more conversations, I'm meeting new people. I feel so much freer too. But I'm already starting to convert people because I have more time to be in conversations. The other thing that I really, 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 really love about the Permagrid was it forced me to be clear. It forced me to be strategic and clear about how I help people. So when I decided to make it, I sat down and I looked at, what am I going to put on the grid? What are the ways that someone can work with me? And I looked at my customer journey and I realized that it didn't make sense. I had a lot of these like small one-off offers. I had a lot of freebies. I had lots of places to lose people in the customer journey because I wasn't intentional when I originally started my business. I was like, let's just wing it. Hey, I know about this. I could teach someone about this. I could teach someone about this, teach someone about this. And I just threw it all together and made a bunch of sales pages, which is 100% like the attitude that you need to have to start a business. But now, a year in, let's wrangle this in and let's be strategic. How are they going to find me? Once they find me, how are they going to get something for free? How are they going to convert into a customer? How am I going to get them on a sales call? How do I work them down the funnel so finally they land in my signature course or they land on one-on-one coaching? How do I streamline this and make it really clear for them? And so I think that it actually did take me a little bit longer to implement a permagrid. Like if you already have a very clear sales funnel for your customers, you should be able to put this together in 5 to 10 hours. I had to redo all of my offers, my website, some of my wording and how I approach things. So it took me probably about 25 to 30 hours to implement all of it. But 100% worth it. Like I spent 30 hours heads down and it's already freed me up to be so much more social and have those sales conversations and be more strategic instead of being in I feel like before I was just in creator mode, 24/7. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm a creator, but I'm also a business owner and I'm doing both. But the creator part of it is taking up so much less time. I have a lot more time now to be strategic and to be the CEO of my business. So, um, and honestly, I'm really excited to spend hours just fucking around in Canva every week. I love making graphics. I have fun with graphics, but it became a chore. Um, and honestly, pretty graphics don't make me money. So connecting with people and helping them solve their problems does make me money. So let's go do that activity. This was really this is one of those times where you have to put your CEO hat on and make a decision. Is this move right for me? It felt right for me. I can't make that decision to see whether it's right for you or not. Um, I am giving this 90 days. I'm going to see how it goes. I'm all in 90 days. The worst thing that's going to happen is it flops and I'll go back to doing what I was doing before or a different version of it. But the best thing that happens is that this freaking works and people are clear on how we can work together, how I get new customers, how I get new followers. And really, friend, it is just Instagram. It is not life or death. If it flops, I will be okay. I plan to update you around the 30-day and the 90-day mark to let you know how this went. So, and if you're thinking, hey, is this right for me? I'm not sure. This is a really personalized decision, and I can't make that decision for you. But you can be like me and be brave and try it out for 60 to 90 days and see how it goes. I do think, though, that this could work for almost any business. If you're looking to grow your audience and work them through your customer journey, as in get them on your email list, get them buying your offers, get them working with you, this is the way to go. The only people that I see this kind of not working for is if you're not trying to sell anything. If you have a dog Instagram account that you just share to brighten people's day, or if you're a meme account where you want to post static memes and have people share them, I can see that working better for you. But if you want people to follow you or to work their way through your funnel or to work with you, I really think that for almost anyone listening that this would totally work. But hey, you never know. My product-based businesses, this can work for you too. A student of mine is opening a coffee truck, and she asked, hey, would this work? And I say yes. For someone to click on your profile, see your branding, hear your story, and know how they can find you, just on your grid, your hours, where you're going to be, or so for a mobile coffee truck, this is a little different. Check out stories to see where we are today. Or if you're a brick and mortar, we're located at this address from these hours to these hours. Yes, it works. And then you can post to your grid, or I'm sorry, you can post to your reels to grow your account and then engage with your audience in your stories and show them, hey, there can even be one on a post on the grid that's check out our stories or check out highlights for our favorite coffee recipes or check out stories for the coffee recipe of the day. a coffee of the day, whatever it is. There are ways to do this. You just have to put your head to it and see, how could I make this work? And friend, if you're like, but I love making graphics and I love my static posts, can your static post become a reel? Yes. Even if you're making a graphic in Canva, just save it as an MP4 and post it as a reel. Who cares? There are no rules on Instagram, okay? Here's your permission slip to go take one of those, what are they called? Twitter quotes, and freaking make it a reel. There does not need to be a single piece that moves on that screen. It is literally just a JPEG. Save it as an MP4 out of Canva and post it as a reel. Please. And when you do, tag me in it. That will make my day. So, if you do want to turn your grid into a permagrid, carve out some time for some heads down time to do this. Like, it's going to take you a few hours to be strategic and to think this all the way through. You might want to call in a friend. Shout out to Megan for helping me. I think we talked on the phone like 4 times. I'm like, but what about this? What about that? The there are sometimes you need a business bestie, like we were talking last week. You need a business bestie to help you through all of these transitions and being strategic and thinking, outside of just what's in your head. So anyways, if you're going to do this, carve out some time. There are done for you services that will do this for you. There are courses that are all just about how to do this. There are templates that you can get. But you also have options. I've seen a couple permagrids that are just 12 to 18 static posts that do not interlock. What I mean by interlock is like the graphic continues between blocks. I've seen ones where it's like, each block is a different brand color and they kind of just all go together. They're all similar and each one is just, here's about me, here's who I work with, here's my offers, here's my freebies, without them kind of being like graphically beautiful. I think they're still pretty. I think that, so like if you go and look at mine, there was a very strategic way that I did it. I went to Etsy and I searched Instagram puzzle, I was like, I don't know what to call this, Insta story, Instagrid. And finally I Googled it and it said Instagram puzzle. And there were options like between $5 and $20. You can get a Canva graphic with instructions on how to make it look like that, and then how to, download the image and split it into the individual grid posts. So anyways, each grid post can be either a standalone post or a reel with a specific cover image, or a carousel post. Almost all of mine are carousel posts. And then you're going to need to take the time to write a caption for each one. You can update captions later. So like I posted courses, so I decided to redo all of my courses, except the new business roadmap. I did not make any changes to that because that course is amazing. But I decided to get rid of my time blocking course and do a time management course that encompasses more than just time blocking. So I posted courses that are not yet live, but the image for the course is there. And so once they are live, I'm going to go back and edit the caption. Right now it says like coming June 2024. And so I'll go back in and take that part out. You do need to, so like the tactile part of this. So once you get your post ready and you're ready to go to the permagrid, you have to go through and archive your posts, and post all your new posts in reverse order. So you start with what's going to be on the bottom right and you work your way backwards. So you go bottom right, bottom middle, bottom left, and you work your way backwards through the grid, and then it'll post perfectly. If you get a template from Etsy, it's going to walk you through how to do it, like with a graphic that shows you how to do it. And then in the future, when you post reels, you toggle off the also share to grid option. You can go into your existing reels, so you do not need to archive your existing reels. You just manage them and go remove from grid. So going to take a little bit of time, carve out time to do this. And I'm going to be really honest, this is probably really complicated to listen to, of like how to do it, especially for a podcast. and visuals would make this a lot easier to understand. So I plan to make a lesson on how to create a permagrid inside my new course, Branding for Busy Business Owners. It is available for purchase now, standalone, or in my bundle, the Busy Business Owners bundle, which includes 3 courses plus a bonus mini course. It is one of those that is live right now, but the content for the course will be published in July. So this month I'm working on content batching for busy business owners. In July, I'm going to work on time management for busy business owners. In June, I'm going to work on time management for busy business owners. And then in July, I'm going to work on publishing the branding for busy business owners. And then in August, the bonus mini course will come out all about Trello for busy business owners. And so if you're thinking like, hey, I think I want to do the permagrid and this is exactly what I'm going to need, stay tuned, or go grab it now so you can binge it as soon as it comes out. And, maybe if I find myself with a little extra time now that I'm not fucking around in Canva for hours, maybe I'll just go ahead and make the permagrid lesson now, and make it like a little bonus preview for the course. I don't know. I come up with these ideas on the fly, and then I'm like, I actually don't have time to do this. We shall see. If you really, really want that, and like you would go ahead and buy that course, Branding for Busy Business Owners, just to watch the permagrid lesson now, DM me and let me know. And, it might just move it up my priority list. And if after you listen to this episode, you're like, hey, that sounds really great, but I have no journey to take a customer on. I get it. I would like to offer, I can help you clarify your brand voice and your customer journey through my brand clarity journey one-on-one coaching package. In this package, we walk through who you are, who you serve, and clarify your offers. So this one-on-one package can help you get super clear, hone in on your customer journey. We actually go through your personal journey. Like, it is you and me on a call, and I look at all parts of your business, and we go through and we go, okay, someone's going to find me because of this content that I post. Then they're going to download this freebie. Then they're going to book this discovery call. Then they're going to come on and coach with me about this. And this can be for any type of business. It does not need to be coaching. It does not need to be digital products. If you're a product-based business, if you're a service-based business, we can go through and really hone in on that. And if you're like, I'm not sure if that's for me, go to either my permagrid or my website, chrissysperduto.com, and book a free 30-minute call, and we can figure out if I'm the right fit. And even if that journey's not the right one for you, I will leave you on that call with something tangible for you to take back to your business to implement immediately to help you make sales or get more clear or get new customers, that sort of thing. Anyways, I'm going to link the course. I'm going to link the coaching package and my link to book a free 30-minute call with me in the show notes for you. I am way over time. I try to keep these episodes to like 10 to 15 minutes, and we're like over 20 minutes now. And that's okay. I'm a little long-winded sometimes. I'm really excited about this permagrid. I hope you are too. Go creep mine. Ask me any questions that you have in the DMs. All right, my friend. That is it for today. I hope you found this new fancy permagrid insightful and maybe a tool that you can use to leverage to grow your business. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep doing the dang thing. Bye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissi Perduto. If you know someone that could benefit from today's chat, please send this episode their way. Also, I love to see what you're doing while you listen. Share what you're up to while you listen to today's episode and tag me in your stories at Chrissi Perduto for a shout out. Plus, while you're there, hit follow for even more tips, behind the scene views of what I do in my business, and plenty of encouragement for you along your business journey. If you'd like to explore more resources and learn how we can work together through one of my online programs or through one-on-one coaching, head to chrissysperduto.com. Please always remember that you are not alone on this adventure. I am always rooting for you. Until next time, keep doing the dang thing. Bye.